Always learning, always seeking.
Hi guys, welcome to our first League of Lessons done by Tactical Gaming. This is our first video, and in this video we'll be covering the jungle role. More specifically, in this video, we're going to be doing a point of view game. We're going to have a gameplay demonstration, and what we're going to be trying to show is how important it is to just make sure you nail your jungle fundamentals. Okay, so let's crack into what those are exactly. First off, we obviously have jungle pathing. Okay, people will often, this will be a hot word, people often talk about it a lot, and oftentimes people will say this is the best jungle path, and it will show you the first 3 or 4 camps that you'll do, and then you'll look for a gank or an invade or whatever it is, depending on what your champion is. And you as a player probably know 1 or 2 or 3 jungle paths for your champion. Let's say you're playing Rek'Sai, you might say, okay, well, I can do a 3 camp clear or a full clear, or a one-sided clear and then gank bot or top. But what we're going to be looking at more specifically is what you do after your first clear. So this is about cycling your camps efficiently and making sure that you are going from point A to point B. You're not backtracking on yourself, and you're being as efficient as possible, picking your camps up as they spawn to maximize the amount of experience you get from it. So this is a quick Rift Kit demonstrate map I've got to kind of show you what I mean. So let's say we have all 4 of our camps up, our minor camps, and I'm coming out of Fountain. Where am I going to go? So in the first example, we go from Gromp to Wolves to Raptors to Krugs, and that's more efficient than the second example, which is what we're going to be trying to avoid, which would be going straight to Wolves and then to Krugs, and then to Gromp, and then backtracking on yourself and giving yourself this extra bit of time and just losing a few seconds here and there, or getting distracted and ending up on the opposite side to where your camps are. So really about just cycling your camps as efficiently as possible to make sure you can maximize the golden experience you gain, so that you can basically become the carry of the game and take the game into your own hands rather than having to rely on your teammates. Okay, so that's what one of the things I'm going to be looking at specifically is cycling your camps. Okay, the next thing is obviously leading on from that is having a plan. So this is something that I'm going to be talking about a lot in the game when I'm in Fountain. And the reason why I do that, and that's the habit I've developed, is because for me, that's when I have the most downtime and I can think about what I want to do. So this is deciding, okay, in this instance where I have all 4 camps up, do I want to play towards bot side or top side? And that will determine which side I'm going to path to. So if I want to play towards top side for the next next 3 or 4 minutes, I'm going to actually path towards my Crux so that I can do the efficient path up towards top lane. And likewise the opposite towards bottom, okay? And these are just things that I'm going to do in this game to show you how you can build a lead on the enemy jungler without having to do anything too fancy, just doing efficient pathing, and just making sure you get your fundamentals right, okay? The next thing we're going to be looking at is identifying opportunities, and what this obviously means is basically when you have anything going on, when you get to one of your camps, you basically, when you finish your clear, what am I going to do? Is top lane gankable? Yes or no? Is mid lane gankable? Can I invade? Can I go for Rift Herald, or can I potentially do Dragon? These are the kind of opportunities you're looking for, and basically picking up free kills as often as you can. You'll be so surprised, even when you get to high elos like Diamond 2, Diamond 1, Master Plus. Free kills will be there. You just have to be able to identify where they are and where you can pick them up and how you can continue to build a lead for yourself. Okay. Risk versus reward decision making. So this is really, really important when you're making these identifications of plays. If top is gankable, you have to ask yourself, okay, what is the risk that this goes wrong? Or if we trade 1 for 1, is it worth it? And you have to weigh that up against the risk. Well, the risk is in reality, okay, at this point, I've built a steady lead for myself. I've got a 400 gold shutdown. If I die here, it's definitely not worth, because not only am I going to give away more gold than the kill would be worth if we trade 1 for 1, but also I'm going to be delayed on going to my next camps and continuing to build my own lead, or I'm going to lose an opportunity to potentially steal other camps as well. So even if the play is, say, 60-40, so it's more likely to succeed or not, the risk is higher than the 40 would mitigate, because rather than just being a 50-50 risk for 300 gold, it's not that. It's also your shutdown and the camps as well that you're losing. So the risk for this 40 might not necessarily even be worth to go for, even though the play is more likely to succeed than fail. it still would not necessarily be worth if you have a shutdown, for example, or let's say all your camps are up and you need to get them cycled, or you're going to risk potentially losing dragon as well. There are more risks than sometimes necessarily beating the eye, even though the play might be more likely to succeed. So that's another thing, is making sure that you're being very calculative and going for plays that are within your zone of risk, essentially. If you have absolutely nothing to do, you have no bounty, you can up the ante and you can take bigger risks, because you might be able to make, you basically have less to lose, if that makes sense. So you've got to weigh up, how much do I have to lose in this situation? And then next thing is selfish and selfless, and this is basically tying back into point number 2 about having a plan. Is how rigid am I going to be following this plan? And this will often depend on the champion you're playing or the elo you're in. Oftentimes you'll find that in lower elos you'll be better off playing selfishly, because the plays that you go for might rely on your teammates to perform the fight in the 2v2 in a certain way, or basically the lower elos you are, the situation can be more random. So it's oftentimes, because the risk is higher, you'll benefit more from being selfish, where things are guaranteed. Like going and killing my Gromp is guaranteed in this instance, okay? When I'm looking at a decision. Or going to Dragon is more reliable than looking for this fight in the enemy jungle, okay? So you'll find in lower elos, you'll be better off playing selfishly. In higher elos, selfless playstyles can be more beneficial. But at the same time, even in the highest of elos, you have to sometimes, especially depending on your champion, be selfish at times. If you're the carry in the game and you have the bounty, you have to play selfishly regardless, okay? So people often think of selfish as bad and selfless as good, but in reality, being selfish as a jungler is really, really important. And you need to be able to say no to players that your teammates want to do, okay? So, and I absolutely promise you that if you do these things correctly, you will climb and improve at the jungle. And I've written that there because I really want to nail it in, that jungling is oftentimes overcomplicated, or I have to understand way more than you actually think you need to. Whereas in reality, you just have to make sure that you nail your fundamentals, and then once you nail your fundamentals, then you can look at more intricacies. But oftentimes people will be so dialed in on certain things, like identifying opportunities, like, oh, how do I know when this is gankable? This is, and sometimes this is like I've had this third on the list in reality of what's actually important for jungling, and there are certain things in here that are you don't necessarily, people will get so harkened up on this when you're new to jungle, but in reality there are way more fundamentals that you just really need to nail down that are actually way easier than people really think. So don't get too not dialed in on the idea of making plays and getting kills and looking for this awesome 1v3 triple kill. That's not what carrying is. Carrying is steadily building a gold and experience lead you can take over the game with, okay? So just really nail your fundamentals. And if you look at sports, for example, if you look at the All Blacks, what makes them the best rugby team in the world consistently, year after year, is oftentimes just their ability to nail the fundamentals, be good at the basic stuff in rugby. And that same kind of mentality translates to jungling, okay? So make sure you got to nail your basics. All right, so we're going to get into it. I'll see you guys on the Rift. Okay, so we're going to be cracking into the game now. I've started the recording early because I want to tell you exactly, show you how important it is to recognize that the game doesn't just start at 0 seconds on the game clock. It starts in champ select, okay? I've already started thinking about how I want to play this game. I've already kind of made my rough plan, and I'm going to walk you through it real quick. So we have Vayne Darius. This is a pretty snowbally lane. Vayne has the advantage if she plays it well, but they're both running Ghost, so there's potentially some kill pressure, and it's pretty snowbally lane. Potentially something I want to look at visiting. Kane Graves, we both have really good pace in the jungle, but my early game's stronger than his, so potentially I can take advantage of that. Katarina LeBlanc, again, a very snowbally lane. And Ezreal Rakan versus Senna Ashe. I mean, this lane, in theory, Ezreal should be playing reasonably weak side, getting shoved in by the double AD carry bot lane, and Rakan could, but Rakan does have good setup, so I can also visit that. So I've got a lot to do this game, and I've got to be pretty efficient to make sure that I'm not only am I getting my camps down, but I'm also having impact, okay? But realistically, I'm going to play this game on purpose. I'm going to play it just towards making sure my fundamentals are correct, because that's the topic we're covering. So I'm going to be really making sure that I am farming my camps efficiently, and trying to optimize my pathing in the mid game after my initial clear. to make sure that I'm just building my own lead and not having to rely on things happening in the game. This is obviously solo queue. Anything can happen here. We're playing in Plat 4 Elo, around about that Elo. So yeah, this is going to be pretty average Elo for what you guys will be playing in most of the time, most of you, or slightly above or slightly below. Okay, so we're going to crack on into the game here. I want to make sure that when I make plays, I'm not taking too many risks, because with their Vayne top and double lady carries, I mean, they do have some decent scaling and some good range, but I think we have a much better comp. But in the late game, it's potentially quite scary if Kayn and Vayne are both strong, and they have the Senna scaling as well, so we have to be really careful not to take too many big risks, something that we spoke about earlier, and just making sure the game's going at a steady pace so that when it comes to mid-game team fighting, we're even or ahead, at which point I think we should just dominate the enemy team. If we're behind, however, and they're scaling up into the mid-late game, it could be a bit rough. So a couple of other things. Obviously, LeBlanc is pretty scary as a champion in general for a jungler, because she can roam and has good CC, has good gank setup on Katarina. Pretty hard to gank. It's not really something I'm looking to do as gank mid, but I will be wary of LeBlanc and keeping my eyes on her lane to see if she has pro, where she's moving. Sometimes if she's moving towards bot or top side, that'll tell me where Kayn is, so I can always gather a bit of information. It's always good when you're playing against a roaming champion or a champion like LeBlanc, is that you keep tracks on her just to make sure that she doesn't ruin your game personally. Even if she's winning or losing mid, she could still have impact on the jungle. She's that kind of champion, and you have to be aware of that. I've chosen Graves because he's a pretty versatile jungler. He can play, for the purposes of this video, he can play very selfishly, build his own lead pretty well. Most junglers can do, but in this particular instance, it's I'm gonna go Blue Smite actually. Sorry, I was just having a second thought there about red or blue. Blue Smite because they have triple lady carry. I don't really need the red Smite here. I just want to stay on them. Let's just quickly mute everyone. Generally speaking, there's nothing valuable to be said in solo queue chat. I don't think I've ever had an instance where I thought, oh, I'm glad my teammate said that. But I'm going to be using it, and I'll show you how I like to use chat, just as a small thing in general. Okay, so what I'm doing now, I'm just getting ready to drop my ward. I probably should have actually placed it here, because there's a chance Kayn can one-evade me on Raptors. And I'm actually going to be pathing towards my top lane because I think it's going to be volatile. I think Vayne is going to want to play it aggressively. And likewise, Darius is going to get poked out in lane, so I suspect there'll be a couple of low health bars up there in the early game.
Minions have spawned.
But I'm purposely going to play this game, so I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm just farming up, building my own lead, not taking too many risks, playing it as sticking to my fundamentals as best I can, because I want to show you guys how OP fundamentals are. Okay, and what I mean by that is if you do them well, compared to enemy junglers, especially at this kind of elo where people's fundamentals aren't good, you'll build your own lead naturally, and you won't have to make any huge risk or rely on your teammates being really good, and that will put you in a position to carry games yourself without having, having coin flips 3 winning lanes, or your top laner going 5 and 0, whatever it is. So quick thing first off is I'm going to kite this towards my next camp. Forgive me for being a click level of her. It's an auto attack there. That's really bad. Oh. Trying to get as many of these procs with my autos as possible. I'm going to kite this up towards my Raptors, which is where I'm headed next. I'm messing these up a lot. It's fine. I'm not going to bother with going back for those little ones. They don't really give me any XP that makes a difference. And I want to make sure I'm high tempo in this game at least. So trying to hit the big one as much as possible here. So I'm a bit rusty. And we're going to cross. I'm going to put another point in my Q, and I'm going to wait for my E. So what I'm doing here is I'm just keeping my true grit stacks up. This isn't meant to be a Graves tutorial, but I want to emphasize to you guys that it's really important that you understand your champion. And one of the problems I notice a lot for people in general is that they all try to play it. Okay, cool, mid got a circle. Great, I mean, that's great. But yeah, people often try to play way too many champions, so they don't really know how to play one champion very well. which they should do. So I'm looking towards top right now. This is where I want to play towards. I want to see what's happening here. It looks like something feisty is about to happen, so I'm going to definitely try to get up there. So one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to push this grab towards top lane, because I still want to keep my farm up. I don't want to, not desperate to go here, but I'm looking at it. I'm keeping my eyes strong on it. I know it's pushing into me, so I've got time. And then now I'm just coming up here. So I'm going to stand in this bush because I think Kayn may look at this and see an opportunity too. Just wait for the wave to push out my dude. There's a chance she comes toward. Here we go. Okay, now we got the opportunity. She's used her tumble. We've got the flash on. I'm going to throw the Q that way to zone her. Perfect. Okay, I mean, obviously, you know, knowing that you can do that with your Q, for example, is perhaps a slightly higher level thing, but in general, I was just patient. Blanca's here now. I didn't keep tracks on her, which is something I should have done. I'm going to walk over, just make sure this guy gets out nice and easy. Cool. But yeah. Pretty straightforward gank. I kind of knew they'd be low health bars based off like what I thought would happen. My plan, it happened to follow my plan. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so I see Kayn there, and I think to myself, can I go take his camps? And the answer is yes. Reason being, I know my Gromp just spawned. Not my Gromp, my Krugs. And those were the first camp I did. So his Raptors will be up. Because mine have just spawned as well. So his will be in time with mine. I'm not going to get there for this play. There's no point me recalling pathing down bot side because there's only one camp there. I'm going to take his champs. This is just reacting to what's happening in the game. Cool. I'm not going to get there, so I'm still not really that interested. It's what happens sometimes in solo queue. Bot lane shouldn't necessarily fight them. They should just focus on catching the wave. But what I'm going to do is do my thing, which is punishing the play as best I can and building my own lead. Okay? Irrelevant of what's happening. And then here I'm looking top. I know Vayne has no flash. Maybe I shouldn't have wasted my smoke screen. Probably a big mistake actually. But we'll see.
Lucky.
I know he has Ghost still. We can do this play for sure. Okay, Vayne has Ghost too, so that's nothing. It happens like that sometimes. I'm waiting here just because I think this Vayne has to walk up and clear the wave. Just freeze. If you can, my guy. I think Vayne shouldn't walk up. I really want to recall, but at the same time, I just think this play is really important. Nice. I got phase rush. So it's an important play because the way her wave was, it's basically permafrozen on our side. So Vayne has no choice but to walk up, and if she doesn't walk up, then she's going to be permafrozen on, basically be completely useless if she doesn't have to try and fix the wave. So here I'm just going to smite this. I'm actually going to do something a bit different here. So normally I would suggest recalling and going towards bot side, but because my Gromp is spawning, I'm going to go here so that when I come back to clear from bot side, my camps will be spawning towards top lane. So it'll be me clearing this way upwards, finishing at Raptors, and then I can potentially go back to my wolves and then my Gromp should be spawning up towards top lane again. So just focusing on, you know, getting the farm. I'm recalling at level 6. Normally I wouldn't consider it big gold, but this play up top lane was something that was a really good opportunity that you could just identify with some basic knowledge of how waves work, basically. Not to say everyone should know. Something you can do. Okay, so cool. The game's going well. Kayn's 2-0, but you know, out of my control. Nothing I can do about that. I just had to accept it. I'm going to build my own lead still. I've got a decent CS lead. So here, happen to have a big board here. Got my level 6. Got some good items. Got boots. I definitely have gank pressure here. But I'm looking to see if it's possible. So Ezreal being low means it's a bit scary. So what I might do is wait to see if they continue to overstep. I was also nervous because I don't know how close the enemy is to 6. I'm coming in, so I want them to potentially be aware. See, Ashe just hit 6, so I'm just going to try and make sure I can catch the wave. Do nothing crazy. Okay, I'm just going to back up. I'm not interested in flipping this 2v2. I could have flipped the gank, for sure. Like I had the opportunity to walk in there, but I just didn't want to take the risk.
Easy part.
Shut down.
Kane made the smart play, took my red buff while I was wasting time down, which was good from him. But I'm going to go catch this mid wave, which will basically put me back even. Kane's got a lot of farm, he's got 3 kills, so that's why he's got a level lead. But that's fine, I mean, level lead's pretty much just gone now because we took that wind wave. But yeah, 3 kills on Kane makes it difficult for me as a jungler in the 1v1, but you know, at the end of the day, stuff happens and I can't control. So here, I'm sensing that this top lane could potentially lead to something. I know he's got warded now, so if I am going to gank, I'll have to take the cone. And I have to be when she's overextended. Okay. There's an Ash arrow top, so I'm going to walk up here. It's a really good pull from him. I should be able to get it still. I'm not going to do anything fancy, just hold my ulti. I don't need to use it. So if I'd ulted her, I think she would have... I'm just going to make sure. Wave. Cool. I could go for plates here, but I'm more interested in making sure I get my camps cycled. I also have... because basically if I go up there, I'm only getting plates, which is only gold, right? And I know this sounds like, oh, maybe silly because it's a free plate, but in reality, the 160 gold I get from that is not worth as much as getting these 2 camps, which is 160 gold or 100 and whatever gold, plus the experience that they're worth. Okay, so I'm valuing the experience as gold as well, essentially. And I'm getting all my camps spawning, and they're all spawning towards bot lane. The reason why I'm now changing towards bot lane is because I think top lane should be 1 at this point, or at least it should be a lot easier for my guy, and also the enemy has a dragon, so I want to make sure I actually get this dragon. So I'm changing where I'm helping towards. I'm looking mid now. I'm looking. I just don't want to waste too much time here. But if she W's forward, I can look. Maybe you bait. Perfect. Okay. She had flash still. Was close. So the real LeBlanc was ignited, so she would have died. I'm gonna actually push her off this wave. I don't want her to be able to catch this. I also want to play it too, so this is a win-win for me. I'm gonna use phase rush to just walk out of it. I'm gonna try and just make sure I walk away from him. I didn't do anything special there. Kane just kind of ended it. He doesn't have form yet, so here I don't win this fight. I can't do anything here. I don't want to flip the fight. I have a opportunity though to just catch some more wave. You know, you always take these opportunities when they come. It's golden experience that you don't want to waste. And this guy doesn't have TP, so he's not going to get the wave anyways. I'm more than happy. Okay, but this could potentially be a dive from him. Yeah. I chopped. Whoops. I should have just known. That was so silly. So good. Really, really, really dumb. Really dumb. I kind of disrespected Dane in a big way. And that's a mistake. You should never do that. I knew it was going to happen. I was way too low to be there, and that's an error. And you know what? It's okay to make errors. We all do them. So yeah, even though Vayne, like, this guy got 3 kills, super strong. I'm still level 9. I'm almost level 10. I'm building a pretty strong gold lead. I got 40 seconds, so I'm gauging with that time. I won't have time to do Gromp. But I might have time to do Wolves. Well, I will have time to do Wolves, Raptors, Red into Dragon. I'm really putting emphasis on this Drake because the enemy team already has one. And I want to make sure that I can potentially get one. Again, there's a wave here, catchable. And then we can look for Dragon. Just making sure I'm picking up as much golden experience as I can. For me, this isn't about my teammates. This is solo queue. Just trying to make sure I get my fundamentals down. So I'm looking for Dragon. My bot lane's recalling, so it's probably you don't get this. But at least I was in the right place at the right time. Maybe look for just pushing this forward out. I mean, I'm not sure why Katarina engaged this. Really, really silly. I'm shouldn't have pinged her. That was a mistake to ping her, because that's going to tilt her. What can I do now? Okay, well, I can't get the Drake. This is over. I can catch mid-wave. I always have to think about what I can do for myself. Drake is not a player that's worth anything. Because we're just going to lose it. It's a lost fight already. So I'm going to grab this and maybe get Herald. And the reason I'm happy to go for Herald is because I suspect that Kayn is going to kill them. Because he was just on Dragon. I don't know why they're doing this play. But he's not going to be here. Okay, but for some reason Kayn's gone mid. I think he's going to walk into me. I think he's going to want to do the Herald. Okay, he can see me on ward, that's why. Okay, but I know he has no ult. He used it in mid-fight. I don't know where my auto attack went. But yeah, this guy should be dead. Unfortunately, I didn't get it. Kayn, Darius is spam pinging me when we're having a fight in the river. I'm not too sure why. But yeah. So here I want to grab my blue and go top, and this time not get over. This is the plan. I just A-click there, make sure I get it. I didn't do anything fancy. She walked into my queue, I blocked Eclipse. So I was able to kill her. I'm pushing this wave out because I know I can get a tower here. It's unfortunate, first tower. Whatever. And Darius has gone mid to catch the wave anyway, so. Okay. So this is telling me Ashe is on the way. Potentially someone else as well, which is Kayn. I'm just gonna use phase rush to run. I have flash here, so it should be fine. Doesn't have kill pressure on me. I'm just gonna flash. It's whatever. Unfortunately, I had to burn it, but it's fine. Got my smite pretty late to get my smite. I'm using it probably. My bad. Too distracted with talking to you guys. Team wants to FF. I say no. I'm really strong. I'm just gonna tell I can carry. I haven't typed anything all game, so I'm just gonna tell them I can carry. I know I'm strong enough. I built enough of a lead. I have 2 levels up on Kayn for no reason. This guy was, 3 and 0, so hopefully this is a demonstration that all I've done is just picked up waves which are, no one else was really gonna get. Maybe I took a few calls the from the laners. But yeah, I've done the correct things and I've made sure my camps are getting taken. But nothing too crazy. Picking up waves is something I think a lot of junglers don't do enough when, golden experience is worth so much in terms of power. People are so obsessed with kills these days. Well, because kills are fun, right? But in terms of actually improving, it's really important to get as much golden experience. That's what kills are at the end of the day, so getting them is what's cool. I'm gonna go grab a cloth armor. I'm not sure what I'm doing with that yet. I think I'm pretty sure I'm not going Mercs. I'm 100% going Tabby. They have 380 carries, what am I saying? Of course, I'm definitely going Tabby. Even I get a lot of armor as Graves, it's just generally really good to get tabs. I got Darius holding mid, no one's catching his top wave, which is a shame. Bot died, which is fantastic. It's a really good kill from Katarina. Ashe is bottom. So this opportunity I'm saying is that I can potentially dive Ashe. I'm looking at mid, I'm thinking there's not much to do there. I have to gauge what Katarina wants to do. I think the fact that Darius died, there's a wave here, I can come get it. I might be able to catch center. She seems to be disrespecting me. I'm gonna go for this. Might. Maybe I can catch her. No one's here, so I'm gonna just try to break mid tower. We can do this, I think. With Demolish especially. And then we're just leaving. Ashe is coming from the bot side. So here I've got camps up bot side. I would potentially go to walls, but it looks like I pinged my Ezreal. I wanted to indicate to him that he could take them, but he doesn't. The reason I don't want to go topside right now is because Dragon's at 30 and I want to clear this pink, maybe get some vision. Need drag. Salt point for that. Okay, the good news is Vayne has no TP, so I'm actually okay with Ezreal being top here. Bane top is really good for us actually. I want to push up, maybe get a pick. We're just waiting. What I've done is I've taken control of the area early. My team's on board with that, which is fine. But even if they weren't here, I would. Yeah, and it worked out. Again, like this is not anything fancy. I'm just knowing the objective and getting there beforehand. Okay, this guy's a ticket. I ulted backwards. I thought she might W back. I luckily got a good crit as well. I don't have smite, which is kind of bad. Okay. What I'm going to do is smite the dragon for the heal and make sure this guy does. Nice. Cool. I got kind of lucky there. He doesn't do much damage. But cool, we got the Drake, we did what we wanted to do. Ezreal died, but whatever, I don't care. This doesn't matter. This really is irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. The only thing that matters to me is me getting ahead. I got the Drake, so that basically means that I have more.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I'm just thinking about what item I want to build. Sorry, that should never take this long. I'm just gonna grab it.
Feeling lucky.
I'm thinking about going edge. I could have bought another thing, but I should have also bought some pinks. But again, I'm distracted by doing this video. Vayne is on my blue, so I'm gonna spam ping 100%. I know she's there. I'm like fairly certain. Cool, she's there. Maybe catch her out. The reason why I'm so emphasizing killing Vayne, it's a big play, is because I didn't follow up this Rakan. I really thought the play was over, to be honest. Okay, if this guy face checks me, he's dead. Okay, I got condemned. I can flash kill this guy. Senna, I can flash ult to R. She dies. To Eclipse. They're afraid of me. I mean, I'm really, really strong right now. I don't have to be really afraid of anyone. I misplayed this fight for sure. I should have followed up on Rakan, but I didn't know he was going for it. I thought the fight was over. My error. But again, I don't want to take too many risks. I'm doing this for the sake of just making sure my fundamentals are good. So here I just think I have an opportunity to take some camps, but also more importantly, I'm shadowing towards Katarina so she can do this. We can do this play together. This is a play I can make. It's efficient because I've taken 2 camps. Now I'm going here. Put it with the smite auto. It's a little trick you can do on Graves is you instant proc Eclipse with smite auto. Whoopsie. On any Eclipse user actually, so not just Graves. If you're a jungler and you use Eclipse, you can smite auto attack. Instant Eclipse proc. Basically, it's a lot of damage that people don't expect. I can catch people off guard. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. Almost got 10 CS per minute. Just farming up. Right now I'm thinking about recalling. Getting, I think edge. I think I'm going edge. Still not sure. Do they have enough shields? Maybe I'll go... I'm gonna go edge. I think it's safer. Again, I have a shutdown. If I didn't have a shutdown, I might go Ghostblade. But because I have a shutdown, the extra HP, the extra shield, I just want to make sure I do not give this away. I cannot take any risks with my shutdown. Okay? I'm not just considering my life, I'm considering the value of the gold. And the fact that my team is also pretty far behind, which means that I'm the most important member of the team, which again, adds more value to... I'm just gonna wait for her shield to go out, and then I'm gonna ult her. Nice. I think I didn't realize how much damage I did, but I could have maybe ulted her before the shield ran out. Before she got the heal from... I'm actually gonna stay mid. I'm looking at this fight, and I'm thinking, this is a nothing fight. Or at least I'm not gonna get there in time, and also mid priority for potentially doing Nash afterwards. Really important. So let's see if we can maybe do Nash here. Actually, I don't have smite, so I'm gonna take the risk. I'm gonna fight. This is a good fight. I'm gonna get here late, but I'm gonna get here to clean up, basically. If I can collect to him, maybe possible. I'm gonna flash over to what I'm going to. We just do dragon. So I have smite in time. I think 20 seconds. When the enemy jumps, let's see. I'm not sure. Kane seems to just AFK there for a second. 10 seconds on smite. I'm gonna tell my team no. just gonna not auto attack it. I'm gonna auto attack the water so I can make sure I have smite. Cool. I've got smite for it now. And we got it. Instantly recall. I'm gonna go GA. I'm still really unsure with the items at the moment. But yeah. Anyway, so I've got 700 gold shut down now. Okay, important to look after it. Not really thinking about like, you know, I'm not desperate to do my camps right now. I'm already with the huge lead that I built, so I'm transitioning now into a more okay. Now's the time to actually carry the game. So this is where this is the hardest part. You know, the rest is just fundamentals. Now I've actually got to perform, put some you know, pretty lucky there. I need to. Unlucky. He got hit by the knockup, which means they kill. Cool. I need. Yeah, there we go. I played that pretty poorly. It's considered. Kane's up. No mind. No bad. Yeah, sorry, I shouldn't think that. It's just I thought Kane died. It's vain. I played that pretty poorly, all things considered, but luckily for me, he's trying to sneak it. It's not that bad. All things considered, but luckily for me, I'm so strong because of the way I played the game that I was able to do a lot. I mean, it's luckily Senna walked into my queue. This guy's still hovering around. I'm actually going to buy a Elixir of Iron because I think the next 5 minutes of the game will be really impactful. I also know there's probably going to be a fight immediately at the at the dragon, which I want to be a part of as strong as possible. For I have 500 gold with no item space. Get an elixir. No? I'm coming. Wait for me. I don't have modern range. So right now I'm eyeing up his word. I want to play aggressive now. I'm pinging my team. I'm telling them this is where I'm going. Come with me. You don't want to come with me. That's fine. But this is my plan. I'm trying to indicate to my team. And also take me to tower 2. We can do a double whammy here. The reason I want to take this bird is because I did not realize she does so much damage. My god. She does so much damage. I also could have smited, but yeah, it was pretty hard to smite actually. Again, I go with the Eclipse Smite auto attack. She gets trounced. Unfortunately, we're down this side of the fight. I got distracted there. Talking, unfortunately. Katarina got. It's my first time doing a video like this, so you guys gotta bear with me. I'm not that used to talking and playing at the same time. But yeah, I was so focused on playing. I looked back and then I looked back again and I was condemned. It's really unfortunate. All this armor I'm building is kind of useless against me. But what it is doing is it's making sure that these three don't do much damage, especially her building lethality. And items like Blade of the Rune King, when it's percentage HP with its physical damage, it can do a lot. But if you have armor to mitigate that, it can... Okay, so what am I looking at now? I'm just looking at cycling my camps and making sure that I can keep building my lead. One more camp and I'll be level 17. I'll be the highest level in the game. I want to deny this from Vayne though. She's high up my job camps a lot. So let's look to see. I'm looking for her. The chance she's recalling this bush. She's not. Let's just get the crab and then down towards the bottom. Oh, I can look to force here maybe. I'm auto attacking the creeps to get my E stack up. Please, when the stealth expires, I can smite her. Kane's gonna come over this wall. Just not trying to use my edge. Oh, let's just push down mid. Maybe we can. Problem is my solo lanes aren't pushing outside mid, so which kind of sucks. But I think we have reasonable enough siege. Nice. Again, I'm just doing little chunks of her HP. I'm not doing anything crazy. Using my Eclipse to its full value. Important in. Vayne is really pressing me. Pressuring me. Oh, I'm dead, I think. But yeah, this is now a really hard game. And they're just really strong, even though I've got a huge lead. Unfortunate, but you know, it happens sometimes. Maybe we can pull it back. I mean, this game in reality, what happened was Kane got 3 kills. It still ended up being really far behind me because I just nailed my fundamentals. My execution's been pretty poor, though, so even though I got a massive lead, I haven't really executed that well. But the point of the matter is getting to that point where you... Maybe we can put it out. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so I'm eyeing up Dragon now. Can't really do it though, because I've got to worry about Ash.
I got no time for games.
I'm looking for Vayne. Nice, huge buzz. So here I'm actually gonna ignore the Baron and run to Drake. Because I think they got this, and I think Vayne's gonna get this. Nice. So now I can get Dragon as well.
Shut down.
I do not want to leave the console point. And triple mountain, triple dragon is pretty good. Triple infernal drake is a lot of damage. Each one's giving 4%, so it's like 2 really hard ones. Yeah, I'm looking at G-Punk Chainsaw. Could also get this. I do have some crit from my collector. Maybe that's better. Let's see what we can do here. I really want to get my item. But I also want to... Every time we group mid, it seems to go horribly wrong, so I kind of want to have some side pressure maybe. Or look for a pick. Change up our plan. So what I'm looking for now is potentially the enemy rip blue buff. That's my goal. I want to see if we can get a pick here. This Kane. So. Cool. Well, at the very least, you know, with getting the blue buff. It's a huge pick there, huge pick. Vayne just looked like she was walking into me. And now it looked to end again. I collected her, I think. With my smoke screen, it's fine. I'm looking at... And collect her, I think.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Enemy ending it. Okay, this ended up being a really scrappy game, but like I said, you know, none of this is, you know, sometimes it's out of your control. And sometimes you just gotta work with what you've got. But the point of the matter is that I was, you know, the Kane got 3 kills. What I did was I just consistently tried to keep my farm up, cycle my camps in the early game. Once I got strong enough, it was my job then to try and take over the game, become the carry that I built myself into, It's all good having gold, but if you don't do anything with it, so you've got to recognize when that point of transition is, and you've got to react to certain things in the game. I made changes for things like dragon. I made changes for the general game state. I recognized that Vayne was really strong. She was the priority in getting that pick on her in the late game. Just keeping my full tabs on her. This is platform elo, it's pretty average elo. I didn't play the best. I definitely made errors, but that's happened sometimes. You make errors, and that's life. But you're not expected to play perfectly every game. But that's what this whole thing is about. It's about making sure that if you nail your fundamentals, you'll be in a strong enough position that you're almost too big to fail, which certainly happened at that dragon fight, if you remember. The one building into that dragon fight. So yeah, making sure that when you have a bounty, you're playing safe, you're playing differently. You have to be just making sure that you're understanding the game. Getting to drakes before they need to be, you need to be there, can be also really important. Just clearing vision, knowing what your next objective is, what your plan is some of the main things you can get out of this game. I ended up with a 5k gold leader with the enemy jungler. And if you look statistically, people might be saying, but you tactical lane, there's loads. I mean, let's have a look here. Yeah, I killed 123 minions, which is quite a lot. But at the same time, most of this was times when it was me catching waves or me pushing out waves to deny the enemy. And this is like more so maybe a grave specific thing. But as long as you're cycling your camps effectively, you'll still be able to build a reasonable lead. I was 2 levels up on this guy, and he had 3 kills, right? So if he didn't have 3 kills, and I'd just been cycling camps and maybe not getting as much lane creeps, I still would have had a lead. If he got 3 kills and I had a lead. So yeah. All right, that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video.